What's up, coaches or wannabe coaches? Today I wanted to bring up a question I've been asked quite a few times, or a limiting belief I see happen quite a few times, I should say, about whether or not someone should coach their friends. Okay, so you've become a coach, life coach, whatever you want to call yourself. And when you first get started, the people most immediately available to you as potential clients are people you already know. And within that group, of course, are people that you label as friends. And what a lot of coaches do is they get stuck trying to find strangers to coach because they have this rule in their head that I can't coach a friend. Now, first and foremost, you need to define what you mean by the word friend, okay? Because everybody has a different version of this word. When I say I wouldn't coach my friends, I mean a handful, 2 or 3 people very close to me who I just don't want to get into that kind of conversation with. I want us to just be kind of equals all the time. And my blood relatives who I grew up with, my mum, dad, and my brothers, I wouldn't, well, actually, if they wanted a coaching session, I would give it to them, but I wouldn't I wouldn't let them hire me as a coach, so to speak. So first you need to define what a friend is. Where's the boundary? Give yourself examples of who is within that boundary and so on. And I'll start by saying that I have coached people who are my friends. I've coached them for free and I've coached them for paid. I've also got clients, most of my clients essentially become my friends. We become so close and I'm so open and honest and genuine during my sessions that there's no boundaries between us. I'm not like a distant therapist who hides all their information. You know, I'm very open and honest about myself during sessions, so friendships build and it has no negative impact on the client relationship. They're able to pay me as clients as well as be my friends. It's a myth that those have to be two different things. You think about small villages. Everybody knows everybody and everybody does business with everybody. You have to do business with your friends. So why can't that happen everywhere else? Your limiting belief is that because you already know the person, you're going to have these fears come up around coaching them. You're afraid that it'll change the relationship between you, and of course it will. You're afraid that they'll judge you and talk to your friends, and yeah, they might. But the idea that means you shouldn't coach them is the limiting belief. What you want to think about with coaching is you want to think about it as a kind of an intimate service. Like, to think about it as coaching often just means you think about yourself having a conversation. You don't think about it as providing a service, which is why what you're really saying is you're not comfortable having that conversation with people. Think about it like you're a mechanic or a massage therapist or a house painter. This is a service you provide. This is your job. And you have to ask yourself, if you were a massage therapist, who would you say no to? Who would you say, no, I'm not going to massage you. We're too close. Because that's about right, you know? So I might not massage my dad, right? I might think that's weird. So I wouldn't coach my dad either, maybe. But I'd massage most of my close friends if I was a massage therapist. There's this idea like if you can provide a service to your friends, then you can provide coaching to your friends, okay? My mate's a mechanic. He doesn't deny anybody his mechanic skills. In fact, he tends to prioritize his friends, which I think is a great attitude to have for somebody starting a business. You prioritize the people who already support you. Yes, it will change the relationship. The difference with being a mechanic, even though, no, it could happen with being a mechanic, like you do a bad job on their car, things could go sour if people don't manage that well. But with coaching, the personal intimacy between you will increase, almost definitely. You won't have been this close before. My first couple of clients, well, one of my first clients at least, was somebody I'd gone partying with, drinking with. Wasn't a close friend, we didn't spend much one-to-one time together, but she was part of my crew, you know, my group. And I basically found out that I knew nothing about her, because when I started coaching her, all the deep, dark secrets came out from both of us. We got to know each other very intimately. And now we have a very close friendship, one that we never would have had before. So it did change it in that way. I have never in my experience had coaching a friend make our connection worse. I've always had it make it better, or deeper I should say. And that's almost certainly what's going to happen. But you got to understand the reason I'm able to make that work is because I'm also willing to lose them. And that's a concept called fearless coaching. I think Rich Litvin coined that term. And that is, I'm willing for these people to never want to talk to me again in order to coach them powerfully. The real restriction with coaching your friends is you might not be brave enough to coach them properly. You might not be willing to lose them like you would be with a stranger. And that's the only really thing you need to work on. This isn't about whether or not you should coach your friends, it's how do you become more courageous. You've also got to know the difference between helping someone and providing paid coaching. So when you ask yourself, they're a friend, I can't coach them, what you're saying is you can't help them. Is that true? You can't have a good conversation with a friend and help them out? Because that's what coaching is. We're not even talking about paying for the coaching yet. Okay? So before you decide whether or not you're going to charge money for the coaching, ask yourself, can I help this person? Should I help them? I, for example, would not coach my girlfriend at all, not even free. We have some boundaries around that because it blurs the line. She doesn't want me to get all coachy with her. She'll go see somebody else for that. And I'm too emotionally connected with her to be objective, right? So I wouldn't coach her. But I have had a coaching session with a guy I've been in a band with. Very close relationships, saw him personally many, many times. We had lots of good times together. I also did a coaching session with him. Now, I would never charge him for coaching. We're too close for that. But I'll help him out, just like my mechanic mate helped me out with my car and didn't charge me for it, just got him a box of beers, So start with asking, would I help them? And if the answer is no, you've got to challenge that. Like, why not? Do I not like them, or am I too close to them to help them? What is it? If you can help them, you should. It's your duty as a friend, I think. Then after that, you decide whether or not you're comfortable with a paid coaching arrangement. I wouldn't continue free coaching with someone because that will make it a very weird friendship for you. The thing is with them paying you for coaching is it helps to actually create a distance in that the coaching becomes a separate thing you do together. So on the weekend, you could get drunk together and you don't give a shit. And then on Wednesday night, you do a coaching session and you're the coach and they're the client. And it's the boundaries are different, and what happened on Saturday night doesn't count anymore. But you still have intimate knowledge. It's like being good friends with your personal GP. He's not going to do shots with you in the on-call room or whatever it's called. When he's investigating your prostate, he's going to be professional and treat you with respect. But he might get drunk and grab your ass and pretend to be gay with you on the weekend. You know what I mean? So you can always draw those lines. Don't know where I was going with that. But the point being is, your friends might be your best source of business. They want to support you. You know them intimately already. So as soon as you start coaching with them, you're already like 3 sessions deep. And they're the people you'd feel most rewarding to help them. So why miss out on that? Why should they miss out on you just because they know you? I'd say if your list of people you can't coach because they're friends is greater than 5, including your family, you have to start questioning, is this a limiting belief? So I hope that helps. My perspective is basically coach everyone and work backwards from there. If you don't want to charge them for coaching after that, then don't. But your friends are your best source of business. The people you already know are your most likely client network. So start with them rather than trying to go around them to strangers who don't know you at all. I'll see you next time. Cheers.